Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our Jurassic RimWorld Let's Play. So, diving back in, I've been working on the base a little bit more between episodes. We haven't made a ton of progress in terms of construction, at least not down here where I was hoping. But the bathroom over here is essentially finished. I'm just waiting on the lights to be put in each stall. And it's effectively done. It's, other than the dark spot there, it's completely running. So, fantastic there. We're also getting some decent progress made on our little mining operation here to clear this out for the road. And of course, we're going to do the whole thing eventually, but I'm not super concerned about that right now. I've also planned out the majority of our little admin building here. We're going to start laying in the wood floors. Since there's a bunch of wood around here already, they should be able to just grab it and distribute it. We're going to be using the same wood floors that we've used in our other buildings, so it's going to have the same architecture style as all of these guys. So the wide wood floorboards, the white concrete walls, and you can see that the layout here is a little bit interesting. So along the back here, we just have our standard 4x5 bedrooms. This center one, I think, is going to become a bathroom. I can fit like 2 stalls and a couple sinks in there. So I think that middle one will be a bathroom. Then down here, we're going to have sort of like a flared entryway. So this is going to be 4 wide with doors. Or what I'll do is maybe a couple of doors split with a little wall in the middle. We'll see. It's going to be hard to figure out until these are gone. But I'm not in any hurry to move them. I'm basically going to build the building around them, and then when we absolutely have to, I'll shift these to grow somewhere else. But we'll have these sort of awkwardly shaped rooms right here, almost like an upside down foot, kind of, because again, this entryway is going to be wide, almost like a semicircle if you could have, round organic shapes in RimWorld. But anyways, entryway like this. I haven't decided if I want to split this as well and make this an office and this like a waiting room, or just make the whole thing an office. But it'll be connected to 2 smaller rooms, which again will be bedrooms probably, and the people in these bedrooms on either side will likely be whoever is kind of associated with that. Obviously, offices are a little bit redundant in RimWorld. Nobody's actually going to sit at a desk for the most part, unless they're doing research. But we'll role play a little bit. So, for example, if Dr. Ayala is the leader of the park, then she'll have her own office with a bedroom next to it. And I guess by extension, Virgil would have that too. And then we can say, like, Riker is, the head of security, so maybe he gets the other one. Or it could be somebody in charge of the park, somebody in charge of research, etc., etc. We'll figure it out. But that will house... Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 10 beds, which would clear out the entirety of the hotel. So that would let us reserve this specifically for guests. And that's not considering that when we build the barracks down here, anybody who's part of our little away team is going to be living in there, not in here. But temporarily, we can house everybody in there. So we have that. We also finished the organ vat, and I have asked for a natural leg to be grown, so I'll actually stop since we didn't do anything for it yet and show you how this works. So if we click on start growing, we have options. Now we have bones and limbs because that's what we've researched so far, but when we finish this project, we'll be able to do the organs as well. We want a leg because Amanda is a body purist who right now has a prosthetic leg, so she's very unhappy about that. She is squeamish because she wants her natural leg back, or even she would rather just not have any prosthetic. So we're going to grow her a new leg, like so, and to do that, it's going to require 300 nutrient solution and 35 protein mash. To make that, we come over to the biofuel refinery, and we can make protein mash from organics, which is effectively meat. So any sort of meat we have, we can put in here. I think I'm mostly using Brachiosaurus meat since we have a ton of it. But I've asked for 35 to be made and then paused. And as soon as we use that up, we'll make another 35. But we'll only ever keep as much as we need. As long as we keep it indoors, it doesn't deteriorate. We don't need to refrigerate it or anything. Then for the nutrient solution, we can use pretty much what you'd expect. I'm asking them to use the excess berries that we have, but we could use rice if we wanted to. We could use meat if we so desired, but obviously meat is harder to come by than plant matter, so we're going to use plant matter. And again, I've asked for 300 to be made and then paused when satisfied, so we're just going to make exactly what we need, put it on hold until we need it again. And I've actually gotten rid of any chem fuel recipes here. So this biofuel refinery is strictly for the stuff that we need for those vats. The chem fuel is only going to be made henceforth at this biofuel refinery. And I've asked that only prisoners work this one. So people won't come in here and work on this. It's only going to be the prisoners that are actively in this area. Because I noticed Tone, for example, was coming in here and hanging out and operating it, and I'd rather he be doing stuff in here that doesn't get done frequently enough rather than doing something that any old prisoner can come across and do. We've also got a bunch of harvests happening, so all of our devil strand and cotton or cloth is finally ready, and a lot of our stuff has finally made it into the stockpile or the warehouse. So there's still stuff in here that needs to get moved, but this has been virtually emptied. There's a little bit of like Panthera fur in there that will hopefully get taken out. So I asked them to come along and mine and tear down some of this stuff so I could get it planted with the new hedges, and then I'll let them kind of slowly take care of the rest. But I've queued up the floors that we want in there as well, or I guess the paving stones. And it looks like everybody's hanging out in the arcade. Okay, cool. So let's get started. No missions yet, but if we want to, I think this new building will be a great place for that mission board that we saw. So this can go in one of the rooms, though I think an even better place for it would be in the new barracks, but we'll see. It might be worth doing more than one. I'm also probably going to do some black hat stations. Again, these just make silver while people sit at them. We also have these PC research desks. The issue is they only research up to tier 2 technology, so I don't know that they're going to be especially useful, especially where we're at right now. So kind of useless there, but I don't know. For the sake of like decoration and stuff, we might just set them up and then not have anybody use them. We'll see. We're also paving this over here, so this whole patio here, with the exception of the spots that still need to be terraformed, and then the road or the path connecting it to sort of the main central area. I should probably wrap it around, so I can actually do that now. Let's grab this and we'll do the corners like so, and grab this. We don't need to do the whole thing. I'm just going to do enough to, I guess, fill out the intersection a little bit. We'll go a little bit further, like one tile in every direction, just so it's clear what the intent was, because often I forget what I was doing, and so if it's obvious, then it's hard to forget. Though I think the plans are sufficient to make that clear. It looks like I need those, what was it, these? I need these here as well. And probably there too? Yeah. So we'll fill that in, and let's grab just some random paving there. Can I actually put this in under the sandbag? Yeah, okay, perfect. So we'll do it up to where the solar panels would be. And eventually we'll want to do the entrances as well, but I'm less concerned with that right now. Just trying to do sort of the parts that people are going to be traversing, the most. Because, again, there is some functional purpose to paving the map, and that is moving through the jungle territory is actually quite slow, especially with heavy foliage in the way. Even without it, just traversing the grass and stuff is a little bit slower than walking on this stone paving. So by paving it, not only does it look like a theme park, kind of, but also it allows people to get around the base a little bit more quickly. Therefore, with this being kind of remote, we want to at least get the parts that people are walking through. And then we can worry about the rest later. But if they're going to be frequenting a particular area, then it's definitely worth paving it just so they can move around a little bit more quickly. And yeah, I don't know what we're working on construction-wise. Obviously, this is part of it. We saw people paving, so I think that's maybe the main thing that they're working on. It looks like mining is going pretty quickly here, and before I forget, and this turns into a disaster, should probably ask that they remove that. I don't think it's... yeah, it's all constructed roof. There's no overhead mountain or anything, so we can just do it the way we've got it set up. But I do not want a cave-in on somebody's head as they're, you know, clearing that out. So it looks like Virgil and Wayne are going to knock that out before doing anything else, which is great. So whoever else comes along to deconstruct this won't have to worry. And I think we actually need to bring those hedges up a little bit. Yeah, so we want it here. And I actually marked that out with the floor planning here. So I should be able to just fill in... oops, I screwed that up. U3 should not be that. You need to be this. Okay. So we'll just fill that in with soil and then till it and then build the hedge on top. Now, because these hedges are strictly ornamental, we actually don't even need soil or to till it. But just to, you know, maintain the illusion, we're going to do it anyways. It's really not that much in terms of resources or effort, so I don't see any reason not to. I've also asked over in the bathroom areas, or at least on this side, we're going to pave over this center spot and get rid of the hedges here. I actually forgot to ask them to do it. I keep thinking of it as a plant, but it's not. So putting a floor, like a stone slab floor there, isn't going to get rid of it like it would for a berry bush. I actually have to tell them to deconstruct this hedge. But I think we are going to put the fountains in there. Just because it looks weird to have a single little bush node in the middle of nowhere. So we'll do this smaller... I actually haven't decided if it's going to be the pedestal lantern, which I think looks quite cool, or the smaller fountain. But either way, it's going to be one of those or something very similar as just sort of a decorative thing in the middle of that. And we'll try to find a way to incorporate more of those. I swear I asked this to get moved. Yeah. You know what, Tails, when you're done, can you just move that for me? Okay. Do it now then. I thought I'd catch her before she moved on, but apparently not. So yeah, we're not going to be shooting arrows at a doorway anymore. We'll have them shooting at this little backstop wall. What else? We've got some batteries in here. 2 of these are new constructions, but we have one laying around in this stockpile too, so I've asked for that one to get transported over here. Or maybe one of these was the one that was already transported. I don't recall, but we're putting batteries in here just to mirror this side and obviously have more energy storage in case we ever need it. We seem to be doing fine on power though, so I haven't really needed to worry about building additional power sources. We obviously have some planned, like the solar panel here, which I've unforbidden, and then all the ones up here that I haven't. So power shouldn't be an issue. I am a little bit concerned about relying so much on solar power, however. So obviously we'll need to find other sources. We do still have potential for geothermal generators around the map. There's these 2 here that we've marked out and another one down there. So those are great. They are very far from the center of the base though, and that's why I've held out so long. A little bit hard to defend those, but we're definitely going to want them because if, you know, we get an eclipse or something, we don't want to be exclusively reliant on solar. We can try to use the chem fuel for chem fuel generators too, but I'm a little bit reluctant to do that. They're just not super efficient. But given the amount of chem fuel we can produce, it might be worth doing anyways. I'm looking at the dinosaur pen here because I'm a little concerned that they might be eating faster than this grass will regrow. So we may have to supplement their food a little bit. And again, this is an experiment because we don't know how many dinosaurs a pen like this can support. So we've got 3 in here now. They're not starving to death yet, and there is still grass around. There's these kind of different shrubs and things, so we'll see if they're okay, but it might turn out that like 1 or 2 dinosaurs needs an entire pen of their own. At least for the herbivores. Now for the carnivores, we're going to have to feed them regardless, but I'd prefer not to have to feed the herbivores as well. It'd be nice if they were just completely passive. But speaking of dinosaur pens, I've actually queued up the construction of at least the beginning of one over here. We're just going to mirror it over. This one will be slightly bigger because it's not going to have the indent around that geothermal generator, which another one we didn't quite look at. Though that one is a lot closer, so it might be worth doing that sooner rather than later, at least compared to the others. So another thing I was considering is moving the herbivores over to this pen, because this is a larger area. It doesn't have this chunk cut out of it, and there's a lot less water. Therefore, it's going to have more stuff for them to eat. So I think that would support more herbivores than this pen would. And since this is the smallest, I could put in a, carnivore or 2. And we'll just have some sort of covered food storage where we can dump kibble or just dead boars for them to eat. We were trying to come up with a way to do live boars. I don't think it's a great idea because the boars often fight back. And boars are pretty good scrappers. They can stun anything they attack. And in general, they're just, pretty sturdy for what they are. So I'm worried that if a T-Rex, for example, had to consistently hunt boars for food, that T-Rex would eventually end up with so many injuries that it would, just be like falling apart. So I don't want to do that. I think we'll slaughter the boars and have a stockpile to dump the body in there. Or, again, we'll just have a little kibble storage that the dinosaurs will be able to access, and they should be smart enough to go and grab it. But of course, that'll remain to be seen. We actually don't have any predators yet to test that with. But we're going to try to change that, and soon. I don't know if we'll go today, but maybe in the next episode, if we don't have any missions pop up, we'll go out and see if we can't find a couple. I'd like to do something a little bit bigger if we're going to put it in an enclosure. So like a T-Rex or a Spinosaurus, Allosaurus, something like that. If it's a raptor, I'd prefer to tame that as a mount. So I guess we'll just see what we run into. But I do want raptor mounts because I think that would be really badass. And obviously if our mounts are going to get into combat, having a raptor that's a carnivore versus like a Gallimimus is probably preferable. Let's see, Tetsuo. It seems like this septic tank is working a lot better. I haven't had to manually ask anybody to do that job in a while. Where he's taking that fecal sludge, I do not know. Oh, he's refueling the burn pit. Okay. That makes sense. They've been burning clothing, and that concerns me a little bit. So what I'm going to do is turn that one, or at least suspend it. They can cremate corpses all they want. I don't remember why I had 2 different ones. Let's see. So this is human-like, strangers only. What was this one? Animal corpses. Okay. We probably don't want to be burning animal corpses. Oh wait, yes we do, because we're only doing rotten ones. Got it. That's why there's 2 separate. So we're only doing rotten animal corpses, and we're doing rotten and fresh human strangers. That makes sense. Okay. But yeah, I don't want to burn any more clothing. I think we've worked through most of the garbage that we don't want at this point. We've either given away as gifts in the last episode, or they've been burning it for a while, so I don't think that's really necessary anymore. Villa, how's your nose? Okay, she's a little bit high on royal jelly, but yeah, her nose is all fixed, so that's great. Tetsuo, I don't think we looked in at your health recently, so he's completely cured of asthma and everything else he had going on. That does remind me though, I wanted to do this on camera. We're gonna install this bionic jaw implant on him. And of course we do need proper medicine. He is a transhumanist, so he's gonna absolutely love this. And that means that I don't have to worry about, you know, crafting him something. We got this as a reward, we may as well use it. And it doesn't require me to invest a bunch of materials into like a bionic arm or leg or something for him. Though, it could be worth doing, especially if he's going to be a fighter, because, you know, bionic legs make you move a lot faster, which would let him run stuff down and kill it. So there is, you know, practical reasons for doing that, but this is free, and it'll make him happy, so I don't see any reason not to just go ahead and do it. And then if we want to give him something else later, we can certainly do that too. Adrian has his not bionic leg, sorry. He has just a regular prosthetic leg. I haven't been keeping much of an eye on him though. So let's look at him. So he's got this simple prosthetic leg. We should fix his medicine. His moving is only 45%, not very good. But part of that is the prisoner chains. Oh, somebody's on a go juice binge. We don't really have much of that around. And then your manipulation is weakened by the prisoner chains. That's one of the unfortunate parts about prison labor, is that the chains will reduce their manipulation, which of course slows down their work speed. Now you can compensate for that by, you know, having skilled people that, you know, if his crafting ends up at 20, obviously he's going to be working pretty damn fast, even at 70%. But in the meantime, not so much. It looks like Gomez did successfully calm Whale down, so she's not going to be binging Go Juice, though again, I don't think there was any for her to binge. Our research is finished, so internal organs can be grown in the vat now. And it looks like, to that end, the vat is being prepped for growing the leg. We just need 55 nutrient solution, which shouldn't be hard to get at all. Just a matter of somebody actually doing the work. And Rianne, I think, is doing it right now because she's grabbed some berries and she's running in that direction. I don't know how much they produce per batch though, so I guess let's pay attention and find out. Go for more berries? I have no idea. I assume she is. Yeah, it looks like it. There's a lot of berries down here and in there. Trying to slowly empty this out as well, though obviously the packaged survival meals are going to create some problems for us there, but this needs to go. We don't want that there. We want it to be a big open center square in the middle of town. And the same is true of, where is it, this here, which is why I deleted the stockpile. So the stuff is still being stored in here and protected from the elements, but it's not actively in a stockpile zone. Therefore, it should find its way over to the warehouse very slowly. And then once that's done, we'll reinstall these somewhere. In fact, we could just work around them because my intention was to keep a lot of these in the barracks because they are pretty specifically, you know, weapon and armor benches. It's not industrial stuff like these guys are doing. This is military equipment for our soldiers. Therefore, I think it makes sense to have it in the barracks. And we have people that kind of toe the line between soldier and craftsman, so they can be the ones taking care of this for us. Anyways, let's jump back up here. And it looks like she is doing 70 berries at a time. I don't remember what the conversion rate is, so I guess we'll just see how much we get. It could be like a 2-to-1, so, you know, maybe 1 nutrient solution for every 2 berries we put in. But we'll find out in just a second. I am genuinely curious though, because it doesn't seem like we've gone through a lot of materials, but we only need 55 more. How much do you have? 35. Okay, so yeah, it is 2 berries for every one of these, or I guess 2 of whatever it is. It doesn't necessarily matter, it's just nutritional value. She's going to add it to this. I'd prefer she load it directly in there, but since it needs 55, what she's probably going to do is like set that down and then pick up what she needs. I should have organized this, and I'm kind of regretting it now. Can you... I can't prioritize that, can I? I was hoping she'd load it in there. But yeah, I kind of regret not sectioning off this stockpile and having one big kind of catch-all. Oh well, it's not a big deal. It's just going to be real messy in here. I could have had like raw materials and then, you know, packaged survival meals and crafted materials and textiles or something. And then have the middles be, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It will bug me, but the pawns don't really care as long as they can get to what they need. Did these lights get built yet? No. God, there's so many boars. I'm going to have to start, well, the thing is I can't. I can't start culling them yet. But I'm going to need to soon. It's starting to lag the game, though. I'm genuinely curious what number we're at. The issue is... I don't know how accurate these numbers are going to reflect it. We've had at least 156. We don't have that many now because obviously some of those have died. Like 141 isn't there, for example, 138. So less than 150, but still quite a few. And what we'll start doing is when we need to start feeding the dinos, we'll look at who the oldest ones are and start culling those first. We'll also cull males before females because as long as we keep the female population relatively stable, the growth rate of our boar population should remain mostly unchanged. Okay, there's our pathway clear. Not going to worry about building that yet, but it is something that we're going to do fairly soon. I'll need to clear this out as well. I just need to remove those. Or the roof, I guess. I don't think these books need to be indoors. I guess we'll find out. If they do, I'll just delete the stockpile and they should get moved into the general one. But, yeah, I don't think these can be damaged by anything. So, I'm not too concerned about it. Right, so Tetsuo's jaw was installed and it looks like it actually shows up on his character. That's new. Apparently he can also drop it, which is interesting. Oh, that's his jaw. Oh god. Let me see. Are you like wearing your old jaw? No, that's the bionic jaw showing up. Interesting. So his talking is improved, as is his, I thought his eating would be improved, but apparently not. Just his talking. I guess he sounds cool with his modulated voice or something. Though that wouldn't be in your jaw, would it? No. Jaw wouldn't have anything to do with that, so... I feel like it really should just be his eating that improves. It's not like we gave him a bionic throat. Whatever. It is kind of cool that it shows up on the character, though. I don't know if that's new for RimWorld or if that's part of like facial stuff. I'm running too many mods to tell anymore. VAT maintenance is required. You better hustle, man. We have enough doctors set to do this stuff that it should never be a problem. It's just a matter of who runs over there first. Okay. So, let's see. 2.3%. It's moving at a decent rate, but that's going to take weeks, probably. Yeah, that's going to take a couple weeks, I think. But we'll have a brand new human leg that we can slap on Amanda's stump and she'll be as good as new. By the way, Schultz and Billa are a thing now. I don't know if I... No, that happened between episodes, so you guys would not have seen that. But yes, they are an item now. It looks like this has been opened up too, so let's till some soil here. Till that as well, and then I'm going to ask for our hedges to get put in there. But we're going to bring them out a little bit. We'll have an entrance here, more or less, and then whenever we have the opportunity, I'm going to move this stuff out as well. Oh, we've got more guests. These guys visit us quite a lot. They also have people that can trade, so that's cool. We'll talk to them in a minute. But anyways, back here, we're going to have some stuff for people to do. Like hot tubs, maybe more seating. We'll try to come up with something, but we'll make it nice out here to hang out. Since Gomez is asleep, I think we'll ask Z to talk to Humps, who is running in here to... What are you doing? You gonna play arcade games or something? No, you're just pathfinding really stupidly. Yeah, Z, since you're the best talker who's still awake, I believe, why don't you come trade with our friends here? Hopefully we do a little bit better on our hospitality than we have in previous... Oh, he went to sleep. Okay. Oh well, we'll get him in the morning or something. But the last couple visits we've had have not been great. One of them was good. The other one was okay. But the better we score, the more frequently they will come. And once we have this stuff established a little bit better, the more money we'll be making off of them. I might put a pause on our survival meals. Yeah, let's suspend that because I have like 600, I think. It's a little bit excessive. 625, I think that's sufficient for a while, probably forever. But we'll see. I'm just going to pause it. The meat won't go anywhere, though. Amanda, do me a solid here. Let's get that panther meat out of the doorway. Because, you know, this is a freezer. Kind of don't want stuff blocking the door. Is this also panther meat? No. Here, do this then. Pick up the chinchilla fur, which shouldn't be in here. And then drop the panther meat where you're standing. And then you can do whatever you want with what you've picked up. In fact, pick up the lizard skin too. And then if you want to go deliver that to the right stockpile, fine. If you want to hold on to it for a while, that's fine as well. But we got to keep that door closed. I should have had her grab this too, but whatever. Yeah, we're going to hold on to the meat. Because what we'll eventually need to do is... You probably don't need to be butchering right now. In fact, I'll probably regret this, but I'm going to ask to put that on hold. We don't need to be butchering meat. We're not cooking anything with meat. I'd like to preserve what meat we have for kibble when that's necessary. So that's what we're going to try to do. But the reason I didn't want this butchered is because often animals will produce more materials than what, you know, the same space... Excuse me. They will produce materials that occupy more space than the animal itself would. So if we butcher this chinchilla, it might be 1 stack of meat, it might be 2 stacks of meat, but it will be at least 1 plus whatever the hide is we get. So this chinchilla goes from occupying 1 tile to its components occupying at least 2, if not 3. Therefore, it's more space efficient to not butcher it until we need to. Same goes for these mashgon, which look like giant crawfish or whatever. Though I don't know that they're producing any hide. I don't think that they are, so it's just strictly the meat. Which, do we even have any of their meat? Doesn't look like it. Anyway, you get the idea. So we'll just stick to our meals for now. That's all we really need. We could start producing better meals, but I don't see a need for that. You know what we will do? I'm going to add another bill here. We'll say, let's do fine meals. Lavish might be a bit excessive. And we're going to do this... I'm going to say like 20. So at most it'll occupy 2 refrigerator slots. So do until we have 20. And we'll say 6 or better. It's probably going to be Petra, but it doesn't matter. Do up to 20, unpause at 15 is fine. We're going to say no meat, with the exception of Blue Blade, Mashgon, and I forget whatever the hell else we can get out of there. Is that not in here? Interesting. I don't know what kind of meat those things produce. Shelled mashcon, I guess, works. Yeah, I think that's it. And I'll have to figure out what the other fish are. But we're only going to use meat sourced from, you know, renewable sources in those meals. So if we have that, great. If we don't, we're not going to be wasting meat we need for other things on it. And they can eat simple meals just fine, that's not a big deal. Though, we're not really using these hops, are we? We probably should be doing that. I might actually get rid of a fermenting barrel. Let's just uninstall this. Because we don't seem to be using it very much. And I'm actually going to ask them to move that over. And we'll put another... Well, I have to wait. What are you doing right now? Do that first, yeah. Haul the fermenting barrel. Marin, I want you to work on the blueprint. So just push it over. Thank you. And then we're going to build one more of these right here. We'll turn all 4 of these into food, and that one on the side can be for the beer. This one I think is reserved for beer right now. The rest of these are food. So we'll have more food space with the same amount of beer space. Checking in on our leg, it's up to 12%, so it's actually moving faster than I thought. It looks like it might be about a week to finish a limb, which isn't too bad. I thought it was going to take at least maybe 2 weeks at the rate it was going, but it looks like it's doing pretty well. It's at 12%. So we'll keep an eye on that. I'm trying to find the leader of our guests so that we can trade. It looks like he is up. So we'll have Gomez do it because she is the best speaker we have. The only reason I was asking Z to do it is because she's on the night shift, whereas Gomez was asleep. So please come trade with Humps. We'll see what they have. Probably not much, but we can potentially throw some more gifts at them to improve our relations. And then I think we'll call it a day. Okay. What do you guys have? Anything at all? They brought some beer. Also some herbal medicine, but not a lot of it. That is pretty much it. So, do you guys want any of this junk? I have an extra Devil Strand beret. I actually don't need this, so why don't we sell it to them for what silver they have? I don't think I need it. I can always make more, it's not a big deal. So yeah, give me your silver. We can go a little bit more than that. Close enough. Then, before he runs off, let's give them some gifts, and it's just going to be whatever random clothing I have around. Oh, you're going to interrupt his bath, it looks like. Okay, we caught him before he got in. Now then, we're going to be in gift mode, and I would be willing to give you none of these like crazy super weapons we have. Those are very important to me, but we can give you maybe a backpack. I don't know, like, how far is this going to get us? +2? It's really not much, is it? Is that even worth it? I guess. I'm never going to use these. I'll give them a backpack too, because it's one more. And again, this is a good way to bleed off wealth for your colony. You give it to other people, turns into relation with other factions, and unlike trading, you're not getting anything in return, so this is just strictly getting rid of wealth. And it's things that we're never going to use anyways. So we're up to 44 with them. The other faction, I think we're sitting around 59, so we've got some decent friends. I don't think we're allies with anybody yet, though. No, we're allies with both. Or, I say both. I don't remember. One of them was 59 at the end of last episode. Maybe we did something else to increase this, or it just went up naturally, or it was this faction and it just depleted naturally. Because there is, you know, relation drift in this, and I think it's generally down. So it probably was these guys, and it just depleted a little bit. That's okay. We do have 2 allies, so when we get raided, there's a chance that they'll spawn to help us. Not that I really care or need that, especially like tribesmen helping me fight pirates with machine guns. Probably not great for their health. But they make good meat shields, and unlike my colonists, theirs respawn. Well, not respawn, but they basically get new ones if the other ones die. Mine don't. What's this now? Why is that happening? I'm pretty sure I said no meat in those. Vegetarian, preferably berries, but yeah, I thought I had these set a little bit more specifically. Rice or berries, please. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and leave it there. I'm going to see if we can't make some more construction progress between episodes, and then in the next one, if we don't find ourselves a quest, we're going to make ourselves a quest, and we'll probably just venture off into the wilderness somewhere and see if we can't find some dinos to try to bring back. How we're going to do that, I don't quite know. The bolas don't seem to work. I mean, we haven't tried them on a smaller dinosaur in a while, so we'll try the bolas again. But obviously the stun guns are basically the most lethal gun in the game right now, so we don't want to use those. And there's always good old fists and rifled butts, I suppose, if we really need to put something down. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time playing some RimWorld with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.